for the Fighting Irish. With the Fighting Scots for his 3 years, he led the team to an overall record of 17-9-3, but more impressively, 17-2-2 as a starter. At one time, he owned records in 11 different offensive categories. He presently stands third all-time in career touchdown passes with 21. For his career, he completed nearly 50% of his passes for over 3,300 yards. But more impressively, ladies and gentlemen, is what this man has accomplished since leaving the gridiron. After completing his undergraduate work at Edinboro, he received his master's degree from IEP and then his Juris Doctorate from Western State University. After interns with the National Consumer Affairs Department and with Derek Wilkes and Company in London, England, he passed his bar examination and became a lawyer in the state of California. He is the former Deputy City Attorney for San Diego and former Deputy District Attorney in Santa Barbara. Currently, he has been in private practice since 1985. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you our first inductee this evening, Mr. J. Jude Basile.
Very much, Todd. That's just how I wrote my introduction. You only missed one thing, it's NCDs. It sounded like it was recited. It truly is a pleasure being here, and I know Todd was a little concerned. He heard lawyers like to talk kind of wordies, so he told me he's going to limit me to just 45 minutes, so I'll start here at the clock now. I'm going to be very brief, and I'm really moved by this opportunity to be here, especially seeing some of the people that I was associated with while I was here. It was really a moving tribute to Doug Watts, and called to mind some of those things and all the success that's been expressed and achieved here during the past year. I think it's important that the athletes, especially that are in attendance that are here today, to understand that it's more than an education that you obtain here, that by your participation in athletics, that you will see as time goes on, as I have seen and I continue to see each day in my practice and in my work, that the qualities that you get from the other people that you associate with here, the qualities of working together as a team, of leadership, of when you're down and you don't know what you're going to do or nothing else, you can draw on these things. You can look back on some of the endeavors in your athletic careers of goal setting, working towards those goals and accomplishing those goals, pulling together as a team and leadership. Not one week, and certainly not one day doesn't go by in my profession being in an adversary proceedings, and I often am, that I don't draw on those. And it really, truly is something that the success, and by success I don't necessarily mean undefeated seasons and record-setting things. The success is participation and setting those goals and working together as a team. You take those with you, and they certainly make you a whole person, a much better person. I'm very thankful to the opportunities I had in participating in athletics here and the opportunity that Edinboro gave me. I'm going to close now, but I wanted to express that and thank just 3 people I think that you're mentioning. First of all, certainly are my parents who are here today. I'd like to stand up and secondly, another man who I do not believe is in attendance tonight. I attempted to get in touch with him, but I'm unable to. It was Jim Bowen, who was an assistant coach here during my tenure at Edinboro, and helped me along the ways in working towards those things. And finally, another person I think deserves mention is a young man who met an untimely death when I was here, who was killed in an automobile accident. And had that not happened when he was a freshman, I'm sure he'd be here today, inducted in this Hall of Fame. Participated as a freshman in athletics, and his name is Dave Leo, and I believe they still have an award here for him if they get the freshman. And I think he deserves a mention also. And once again, just thank you.
Thank you, Jude. Congratulations. Thanks for making the long trip. Our next inductee this evening, ladies and gentlemen, has earned induction for his accomplishments as an Edinboro athlete from 1939 to 1941. And I thank Jim Harrison for the nomination. We had a tough time finding a lot of things about you, but we got it. He is being honored tonight for his outstanding contributions as an athlete and also his success and dedication to the coaching profession. He was a 3-year letter winner in both football and wrestling and helped organize Edinboro's first wrestling team in 1939. He helped keep together a wrestling squad which had just 4 dual meets a year during the early 70s, and in 1941 he placed second at the State Teachers College Tournament in Lock Haven. Upon graduation from Edinboro, he taught in the Girard School District for 1 year before entering the U.S. Army. 3 years later, he completed his master's degree work from the University of Pittsburgh and was hired there in 1947. After organizing Pitt's first club wrestling team and coaching that squad for 3 years, he then was hired and he changed his direction of interest as Pittsburgh's first varsity soccer coach in 1953 and held that position for 30 years. In 1983, he took early retirement after 37 years of teaching and coaching on the high school and collegiate level. But this man could not sit still, and he wasn't done yet. He then took the head soccer coaching position at Robert Morris College in Pittsburgh before finally calling it quits for good and retiring in 1985. On top of everything else, ladies and gentlemen, he was an official in the sports of swimming and track for 30 years. Please welcome to the Edinboro University Hall of Fame, Mr. Leo Bemis.
It's amazing what can go through your mind when you return to your old school after nearly 50 years. It would probably give me license to enlarge on a lot of things, but I will not do that. But I will recall just a couple of things from my time here at what was then Edinboro State Teachers College. It became a State Teachers College, I think, 1 year after I was here. Before that, it was a normal school. I came to Edinboro with the intent and purpose of taking a 3-year certification just as fast as I could get it in elementary education after I started in mid-year. But during that semester, I met the football players. Since I played in high school, they were telling me about the team. And to make a long story short, I decided to go for the degree. And I played 3 years, but I did accelerate. I was only here 3.5 years. During that time, another young man, I met him in class, and his name was Frank Felice, and he had moved here from California and had some wrestling experience. And we got to talking about starting a wrestling team. And we proceeded to ask the athletic director, Mr. Harrison, Sox, as we called him at that time, if he would give his approval, if we could go ahead. He said, fine, go ahead. We're not going to be able to get you a lot of support, but he said, if you fellows want to start something, go ahead. And we proceeded to do so. And one of the things that keeps running through my mind, to tell you what athletics was like in those days, I was doing student teaching my 3rd year at the training school here at Edinboro, and we had a meeting after the state college championship, and with Clarion College, and they were here. And I didn't know she was going to do it, but we had the meet over the other gym, and just before meet time, I in-gave my credit teacher with all those 3rd graders and 4th graders. It was 3rd and 4th grade. Came in, we had, I think, a 3 o'clock in the afternoon meet. I proceeded to meet a young man who had lost early in the championships at Blockhaven, but he was a big, tall fellow, and in those days you could put the legs on someone and ride, and they didn't break it. And the periods were a bit different at that time. And I proceeded to let him get in a position where he put his legs and a grapevine on me and rode me. And those little children are right alongside the mat, the first row bleachers. And they just cheered and cheered. They didn't know wrestling. It was the first meet they'd seen. And I thought, oh my gosh, when I go back to class, I think that was on a Friday afternoon. Next Monday, what am I going to do? And you know, when I went back next Monday, they thought that was the greatest thing in the world, that they'd seen me wrestle. They didn't make any difference in the fact that this ball rode me practically for 7 minutes and had won a decision. But it's things like this that go through my mind when I'm trying to think of what someone nearly 50 years away from here might have in mind. But other things that I think of are the fine individuals that I played football with. Unfortunately, I see some of their names here deceased. Some are on the initial inductees, honorary inductees. One I helped him as an assistant coach up at Girard. But we had great times. We were a great bunch of people, and it meant a lot to my life that I had that opportunity to play football at Edinboro. I treasure the fact that I had a chance to play 2 years with Mr. Harrison. In my second year, we had a young man come in from, who was an All-American in Oregon State, with the name of Bailey, and he was coach. And it was a great experience. He introduced the Notre Dame shift. If you never saw the Notre Dame shift, why, that's an experience in itself. It became coaches for 1 year. But I could go on and mention things like this, but really what the bottom line is, that just as it is today, an experience that you should treasure along with your education. The opportunities that you have in athletics here in Edinboro, just as great as if you're at Notre Dame, Pitt, or anyplace else, and treasure them, and you will be amazed how they will come to your mind as the years go on, and the things that you learn, how much they're going to stand up for you as you go on into your life. My time at the University of Pittsburgh was, I called it a labor of love. It was something that I could start a sport and be able to coach it. It turned out it was a sport that had been mine in the 8th and 9th grade. It was my first love. I went to a little school over here in Spartanburg, Pennsylvania. And my family moved to Union City, a little town. They didn't have soccer, so I learned to play football. But I went back to that. I started the team. I was able to have the things that were necessary pretty much, except field space, to have some good teams. I never had a great scholarship program. We had some great people come out of the Pitt program. One of them is here tonight. He's a former coach here, George Shimpano. He and his wife are here tonight. And it's people like that that make coaching great. It's the people that you work with, that you have an opportunity to meet them for a short span of their life and see them go on and be the success that most of them become as they go out into the world. It's just a great honor for me to return here after all those years and to be recognized for something that to me was a labor of love in my vocation, and certainly a labor of love in my years here at Edinboro as an athlete. Thank you very much.
Maybe a touch of irony, this being 1989, and Leo talking about 50 years, that we got our first national champion this year. Our third inductee this evening, ladies and gentlemen, is currently a resident of Edinboro and is often regarded as the best soccer player ever at Edinboro University. I know he doesn't like me saying that, but I had to stick in. In the early 1970s, he was a 4-year starter for the Fighting Scots and twice captained the soccer team. He captained the 73 squad, which won the PSAC championship and also captured the District 18 title. He was a 4-time Western Division All-Star and 3 times was named to the All-State squad. During the years 71 through 73, he was named to the list of Outstanding Athletes of America and currently owns the Edinboro University record in soccer for career goals with 36. Among his many activities after graduation have been his role as an NCAA and PIAA official. He's done numerous state playoff games and NCAA Eastern Regional games on the Division II level. He's also a very successful businessman. He has been with Penn Bank since 1975 in many different capacities. Over the last 5 years, he has been Assistant Vice President and Commercial Lending Officer for Penn Bank. Other activities included for him are being past president of the Fairview Community Council and currently is a member of the Lakeshore Country Club. Also very important to us, ladies and gentlemen, he is currently a member of the Sox Heritage Scholarship Board, and along with Kip Allen, coordinates the annual fundraising golf outing each May and do an outstanding job. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you a good friend. Congratulations to Jimmy Kirk.
Thank you, Todd. Earlier today, I had the opportunity to play a little bit of golf with a good friend of mine, Kip Allen. He informed me that I finally made the big time, along with Denny Rinaldi, who will now make the Wall of Fame at the Edinboro Hotel. It's somewhat of a pleasure to follow Leo Bemis here today, him being a soccer man. He may not remember back in my early days of playing, but 2 games come to mind with me. As the Air Force band was marching into Pitt Stadium prior to a football game, along with 50,000 people, Pitt was thrashing us 9-0. You talk about a lonely spot, the only place I can compare it to is this. Fortunately, in our senior year, we were able to reverse the score somewhat, and win 6-0. And that was it was one of the best wins that we could have had here. Needless to say, this is a very important day in my life, and I'm very pleased that there's so many of my friends here to share it with me, along with my mom and dad. Whenever I get the opportunity, I won't miss this chance to talk a little bit about soccer. Thanks to the university for providing fields, over 200 kids in Edinboro alone play the game. Over 4,000 in Erie County. It's the fastest growing sport in the country, and it's the largest spectator sport in the world. At age 13, when I first began to play soccer, my son already has, at the same age, 7 years of experience. And my daughter, at age 7, starts this year. In 10th grade, my biology teacher once told me that any time the soccer ball hits your head, you can destroy up to 10,000 brain cells. I don't know if that's true. It's been a few years since I played the game, so I hope I've recouped a few of them. She did say that brain cells have the ability to replenish themselves. She did not say that hair doesn't have the same characteristics. Unfortunately, that was the best part of my game. 18 and a half years ago, I came to Edinboro for one reason. That was to play soccer for my junior high coach, George Chimpano. And I'll tell you, it's been a real rewarding time here at Edinboro. When I point to any successes that went on here, I like to point to our senior year. And it's not so much what we did on the field. None of us were great athletes. We were good athletes. None of us were great students. Maybe some of us were good students. But when I look at the 11 starters that year, 11 graduated. Being a teacher's college, 7 went on in education. 1 became a physical therapist. Another is the president of a local machine shop in Erie, Pennsylvania. Another is the president of General Electric Credit Corp. And I think if you throw a banker on top of it, it's a good representation. I'm very pleased to be a member of that team, had to be a member of that team. When most people reminisce about the 4 years that they spent at Edinboro, I reminisce about the 4.5 it took me to get through, and the subsequent 14 years that I've lived here. It's a great place to bring up a family. In conclusion, I don't ever think I can repay by being here from Edinboro. Been working on some of the fundraisers with Jim McDonald, Dave Odessa, some of the local businessmen such as Art Gonzalski, Kip Allen, Gary Means, first Eddie Rinaldi. It's been very rewarding. And those people were the backbone, I think, of this athletic program. Without them, you can't attract the quality of athlete that's been attracted here. Believe me, there are some good ones. So, in conclusion, I thank you again. And we do have a golf tournament coming up on May 12th. And it's filled up in the afternoon, but we have tee times in the morning. Thank you again.
Thank you, Jimmy. Congratulations. Our fourth inductee this evening comes to us from the Pittsburgh area and brings with him an outstanding career in the sport of golf. Considered one of the school's greatest golfers ever, according to Coach McDonald, he competed for the Fighting Scots from 75 through 78. During those years, he twice earned All-American honors on the Division II level, and 4 times was an All-PSAC pick and also a District 18 performer. As a freshman in 1975, he finished 5th at the NCAA Division II National Championships and was named All-American. Then 2 years later, he nearly duplicated the feat by finishing 6th. In 1978, he then turned in his best season ever as he captured the state and District 18 individual championship and went on to be named first-team All-American at the national tournament. Also that same year, he won the Erie District Golf Association Amateur Championship and was a semifinalist at the United States Golf Association Championship. From 1978 through 82, he competed in a mini tour in Orlando, Florida, playing in over 75 tour events and 3 PGA school qualifiers with 1 championship and countless top 10 finishes. Continuing on the pro tour from 84 to 87, he recorded a first place finish at the Tri-State PGA, a third place showing at the Pennsylvania State PGA, and a second place finish at the Tri-State Professional Golfing Association Tournament. Since 1986, he has been a club pro in the Pittsburgh area and is currently the head pro at the Pine Tree Golf Center in Pittsburgh. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Edinboro University Hall of Fame, Mr. Dale Naismith.
When I was being recruited by Edinboro to play golf here, the golf coach at the time came to me and said, "I know absolutely nothing about golf, but I'm one hell of a recruit." So golf being the individual sport that it primarily is, I decided to come here and help the program out. At the time, they had just finished their first undefeated season. And so I'd like to thank my coach at the time, Jim McDonald, and Edinboro University for giving me the opportunity to play here and pursue my career of golf. And I'd also like to thank my family and friends who joined me tonight to share the special evening. Thank you.
All the time he wants. That was good. Okay. That loosened everybody up. Our fifth inductee this evening, ladies and gentlemen, currently resides in the Erie area and has earned induction due to his outstanding success in the sport of tennis. Not only was this gentleman successful as an Edinboro athlete, he was equally successful as an area collegiate coach. Coming to Edinboro from Clareton High School in the Pittsburgh area in 1970, his tennis accomplishments at Edinboro and at nearby Mercyhurst were outstanding. As a player, from 71 through 74, and I hope I get all these right, there's a lot of them, he captured the District 18 Singles Championship and was runner-up in the PSAC twice. He was also singles runner-up and doubles champion in the state in 1973. He was also 3 times doubles runner-up in the District 18. And in 2 of those years, 71 and 73, he competed at the national tournament at the NAIA Championships in Kansas City, Missouri. Following his collegiate days, he went on to coach the Mercyhurst Laker tennis teams, and that's plural, and was 4 times named District 18 Coach of the Year. From 77 through 80, he led the Mercyhurst men's program to an impressive 60 and 27 record, and the women's squad 34 and 6, one loss mark. Recently, his success as a player continues as he is currently ranked #1 in the Allegheny Mountain Tennis Association of Western Pennsylvania in the 50 and over division. Oh, that's 35. and is also ranked number 8 by the Middle States Tennis Association, which covers Pennsylvania, Delaware, and New Jersey. That's just a joke. Aside from his performance on the tennis court, he is senior financial consultant for Merrill Engineering and is a member of the Sox Harrison Scholarship Board and the Booster Club Board here at Edinboro University. I'm very proud to present to you tonight another good friend, Mr. Dennis Rinaldi.
I'd just like to thank Kip Allen for finally putting Jim Kirk and myself up on the Wall of Fame at the Edinboro Hotel. Worked very, very hard to achieve that accomplishment. I would, on a more serious note, I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame committee for nominating me and electing me into the Edinboro Hall of Fame. And joining such an elite group of athletes, I truly am honored. I'd like to thank a few people who were very important in my life to help me get some of the accomplishments that I currently have. I'd like to thank my coach, Hank Mariotti. I have no idea if he's here. I arrived a little bit late. So if he is here, I thank you for having the confidence to recruit me. I'd like to thank the administration and the faculty at Edinboro University for providing me with some of the greatest experiences of my life, my 4 years here at Edinboro. I'd like to thank my mother and father, who, without their support, both emotionally and financially, never could have done it. I'd also like to thank my uncle, Al, and my aunt, who really got me started in the sport. And last but not least, I'd like to thank my wife, Mary, my 2 children, Kate and Lauren, for putting up with me in both good and bad times, both winning and losing, and for all the countless hours that I spent away from home, both as a player and a coach. And I just want to say to my father, all that worrying you did for 4 years, your boy did okay.
Our 6th inductee this evening, ladies and gentlemen, has earned Hall of Fame status due to his success on the gridiron for the Scots from 73 to 75. He remains one of only 4 football players to be named first-team All-American, accomplishing that feat as a member of the Scots secondary in 75. His picture currently hangs on the walls of Sox Harrison Stadium along with the other 3 players, recognizing their All-American accomplishments. He captained the 75 Fighting Scots football team and was named to the first-team All-Star squad in the Pennsylvania Conference and the District 18 to go with his All-American honors. He will be considered one of the best players ever in the Fighting Scots secondary. On the field, he finished with 134 career tackles, 6 pass interceptions, 8 fumble recoveries, and at one time held the school record for the longest kickoff return. A very versatile athlete, he also played some offense at halfback for the Fighting Scots during his sophomore season. On top of everything else, he also played baseball for Edinboro in 1974. Upon leaving the Borough in 75, he began working as a project manager for a mechanical contractor named Greco Company in Johnstown and stayed in that position for 9 years. In 1984, he joined Burbach Plumbing and Heating Corporation as a vice president and is currently president and owner of Burbach in Wimber, Pennsylvania. It is a great pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to present to you into the Hall of Fame, Mr. David Say.
Thank you very much, Todd. Too kind. I'm not a long speaker, and I'll prove it. There are a lot of people I'd like to thank for my accomplishments, especially Coach Bill McDonald, coach during my time when I played. Coach McDonald was a tremendous influence on me at that time and still is today. Special thanks to my wife Kathy. We were married for 2 years while I was going to college, playing football, going out of town, seeing films at night. It wasn't an excuse, it was legit. I'd like to have my wife stand up for a minute. We also, with all this hardships, we also had our second child was born the day I graduated. So we were starting out in the hole, and
today. No question who the crowd favorites are with the students here this evening. Our seventh inductee, ladies and gentlemen, earns induction for his accomplishments as a member of the Fighting Scott basketball team under Coach McDonald from 62 to 66. He also competed for the Scots tennis team in his final year. A 4-year letter winner in basketball, he helped lead the Scots to a 55-28 overall record and 2 appearances in the state championship game. He was also captain of the 66 squad, which captured the District 18 championship and appeared in the NAIA tournament in Kansas City, Missouri. His individual honors over his career include being honorable mention All-State his sophomore season and second-team All-Conference his senior year. In his final year with the Scots in 66, he was chosen as an All-Star selection on the NAIA District 18 team and earned the prestigious Sox Harrison Male Athlete of the Year award here at Edinboro University. Other activities, like he wasn't busy enough during his stay at Edinboro, were included being class president in his junior year. Upon leaving the borough with an art degree in 66, he began his teaching career in Alacoca for 2 years before moving on to Freedom High School from 68 through 69. At Freedom High, he was also assistant basketball coach. After that, he went into teaching at the Braddock Junior High School for the year 1969-70. He then moved on to Mount Lebanon High School, where he has been an art teacher for nearly 20 years. He is also presently coaching the junior high basketball team in Mount Lego. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you our seventh inductee this evening, Mr. David Sheffield.
Thanks. All these past records being said, I figured, how can I get in here and say something now? You know, with everything that's been said, I figured, well, maybe I can set a record for the fastest speech. But really, in all sincerity, I have to thank Coach McDonald and Edinboro for so much that they have given me, and especially for these bunch of guys here sitting behind me. Believe me, I haven't seen some of these fellows in 20 years. They look great. I think they deserve a big hand. It's almost scary in reality to come back and see a lot of old friends, ball players, Jimmy Sims, and Colin, Chris Cucci, anyone else here around. Because I hope I don't miss him tonight. However, I'm trying to figure out something to say tonight. I was talking to one of my colleagues in school, and they said usually something short is appreciated. And I thought, well, I guess that's the best way to sum things up and say thank you. I do appreciate everything that has come my way. I was given a chance here. I wasn't offered a scholarship at first. I started playing basketball, and a couple of coaches asked me to come out. I figured, why not give it a shot? I was given an opportunity to play basketball, and I can't say enough about that. What has happened since then has been phenomenal. I was also given a chance for an education, which I can't say enough about either. It's been great. I also had an opportunity to meet somebody very special in my life, my wife, Kathy. Would you stand up? Chasing all over campus, and before they built all this stuff out here, Jimmy Simpson could tell you there used to be a big swamp down in here, and I want to tell you what went on down there. We used to have a lot of fun. Honest fun. Being a former homecoming queen, we had a lot of good times up here. Shut up. Again, I want to thank everybody. Mr. Gasway, our art teacher. That's right, I didn't remember you. Last semester, I got to be in George. And by the way, Jim Kennedy, I'm glad to see you. That goes back a long time. I'm glad to see you looking so good. Doing so well. Again, I want to thank everybody and just the administration, the school. Hopefully, some way, somehow, I might be able to contribute something to the university before it's all over.
Thank you. Couldn't hear David's wife, she was saying, my mother's here, my mother's here. The truth were known, I think, Dave, that Mr. McDonald told me that you were found at Edinboro game. Turned out to be one of the toughest kids he ever coached. And I know that it's a good feeling in his heart that you're now in the Hall of Fame. The time we all been waiting for, I know it drew a nice round of applause last year. Our 8th and final inductee this evening is well deserving of this honor due to his outstanding accomplishments in the sport of basketball in the mid-1970s. Another point I'll make that I know that he is very proud of, he will enter the Hall of Fame tonight as the first black basketball player to earn induction. He came to Edinboro in the 70s from Fort Wayne, Indiana, and left a mark on the basketball program that could stand for quite a long time. He currently stands as the all-time leading scorer for guards in the history of Edinboro basketball, and is second on the all-time list with 1,574 points. His 508 points during the 75-76 season stood as a school record for a dozen years until being broken a couple of years ago. His individual accomplishments are endless. He was 3 times picked as an All-PSAC selection and twice was named to the first team District 18. Other honors included his selection to the Erie Morning News All-Star Squad for 2 seasons and also twice to the Pittsburgh Press All-Star Squad during the 75 and 76 years. Besides his area honors, he was twice selected as an All-American for his accomplishments on the hardwood and remains one of the best ever to set foot on the floor for the Fighting Scots. Upon leaving the borough after graduation in '78, he taught elementary school in Fort Wayne for 4 years before returning to Edinboro University as an assistant basketball coach in the capacity which he remains for the last 6 years. On top of everything else, he recently completed his work on his master's degree. He's been a very busy man. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Edinboro University Hall of Fame our only unanimous selection here tonight, Mr. Tim Smiley.
My theme tonight is the making of a Hall of Fame. I'd like to recognize my head table here, my mother and father. My sister Yvonne and her husband and family, and my wife Nadine. Now I'm 30 strong tonight. I have 30 family members here. So I had to call them. I'm not going to leave anyone out. The next day was my oldest brother Ephraim, my brother Roger, and his wife, my sister Sandra, and her kids. I got my youngest brother back there, Walter, my brother-in-law Mark, my cousins from Newark, New Jersey, and Levi. And I have my partner here also. I played here at Edinboro, and I walked on. And the partner name was Alonzo Craig. He was highly recruited here at Edinboro. I'm here because of the Alonzo Craig initiative and his drive. I like Alonzo Craig to sing. Edinboro University is a big name in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And the reason is, one man, J. Webb Porter, he's from Cambridge Springs, he recruited me. And it's unbelievable how people in Fort Wayne, Indiana recognize the name of Edinboro University. That's all because that man right there, J. Webb Porter and his mother. Being making, to become a Hall of Famer means a lot to me because I started with nothing, basically. I graduated in 1972 with no scholarship at all. I met Jay Webb, and he said, Edinboro is the place for you, Jay. I came here as a freshman, not on a scholarship. I worked a year before I came to school here. I paid my first way. I paid my first semester here and earned a scholarship. It took a lot of hard work and dedication. And that's my coaching philosophy on how I became an All-American here at Edinboro University. Those athletes that's out there that's getting full scholarships, those athletes that's not getting full scholarships, those athletes that's paying their own way, it takes a lot of hard work and dedication for those to keep their scholarship, for those to earn the scholarship. In my adventures at Edinboro University over the past 6 years as assistant basketball coach and working on my master's degree, I took a lot of many courses, and I'd like to share my philosophy to you. This is my book. I developed this book because I had an opportunity to apply for the head coaching position here at Edinboro University. And this is my Bible. I took a course from Dr. Becker, and in that course, we had to write our philosophy, our administrative leadership style. I got a master's degree in elementary administration. And so, during that course, there was a movie that we viewed. It concerned the two most significant events in a person's life. So I got to thinking, and I developed myself in that train of thought of who actually was significant going way back. And I came up with this. First significant emotional event was in the 1960s. It was the election of President John F. Kennedy. I will share with you tonight the silent speech as a guiding light for my self-identity. President Kennedy's assassination did not allow him this opportunity to give his address. In a world of complex and continuing problems, in a world of frustrations and irritation, leadership must be guided by the light of learning and reason. Only a person fully educated will possess the capabilities of tackling the complex problems and receiving the hidden dangers of the world in which we live. That's why I strive to be a more and better educated person. The second most significant emotional event occurred in the mid-60s. It was the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. And you know he fought for nonviolence and civil rights. I will include Dr. King's philosophy on the dimensions of a complete life into my lifestyle. And it sounds like this. Just as the great cities and nations, civilizations are incomplete, so have been many of our great leaders. The individual should strive for completeness within himself. He must work tirelessly to achieve excellence in his field of endeavor, no matter how humble, no matter how great. Set yourself earnestly to discover what you were made to do, and then give yourself passionately to doing it. And as I strive here at Edinboro University, because I've been here for 11 years, that's 1/3 of my life, I hold that dearly to my heart, because I work tirelessly and passionately to become the best that I can possibly be. Thank you very much.
Come up for a minute.
Everybody else?
Eric, you tape it. My mother's. Nah, I don't know where she is.
Thank you very much.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, guys. That's me.
What?
That's me.